Hey, friends and family from Ronny's Farm to Table. It's the first Thursday in February in 2023. We have roughly rounded up minus 15 degrees air temperature, and with the windshield, we probably are around minus 40-ish. And Kaiser's just gonna be out there for just a few minutes, probably about half an hour or so, and then I'm gonna put him back in. He is pretty happy in the sun. He's actually really warm when you touch him, but still it's so awfully cold. And hey, I finally got my Christmas tree out. So that guy's gonna be sitting there now till probably April when my siblings are coming around to welcome baby Reitmeyer. It will be my sister and her daughter, and they will be coming up helping my wife and me with the first week of having a baby. So we're all looking forward to it, and probably when they come, we're gonna have a little bonfire with that Christmas tree, if that Christmas tree survives a couple blizzards. Alrighty, the plan for today is check on the Agar, see if we can do some Agar to grain spawn, and then probably because we're gonna be a lot inside my house, we're gonna be working on the baby room, but we will have to see how things develop. So let's get to it. Hey friends, here we are in the Berliner room, and it's time for Chaga with Agar, or Agar with Chaga. I haven't decided quite yet which way around, but this is Chaga tea, and I usually drink it when I talk about my Agar plates. So, cheers first. Oh, it's really nice, warm cup of tea. It really gets you going in the morning, and most certainly when you have 100 degrees difference between the outside temperature and the inside temperature here. Outside is right now about minus 35, and in here is about nice and warm, high humidity, 70 degrees. So let's look at the Agar plates, and I already went through all of them, so I'm not doing that right in front of you here today. And out of 40 Agar plates that I have here, only 4 of them I will be able to put on a grain. Here's one that is extremely strong. It's climbing up the walls. It wants to be transferred. That's really beautiful. The others have not as much development. So there's 36 other plates which are not really contaminated, but they haven't really developed. Here, look at this guy. There's just no activity. And I think it's part of the temperature. They would like to be on the right temperature. I have them in my dark section on a shelf. Probably in the dark section, the temperature would be about 65-ish. So I'm thinking about putting it over where I have my other plates, the cloning plates, the tissue cloning plates, and put them there for a while, see if the heat that's over there, where it's probably about 76 degrees by the humidifier tank, will help these to grow better. It's been a while, like this one is almost a month old, and there's just not a lot of activity there. You see that? But it's not contaminated, which is quite unique. So those are those guys. When I look over here at my grain spawn, some of them are doing really good. I remember this jar was one that I didn't use gypsum in, just as a trial. And this was the copy of the copy. So this already went from Agar to grain spawn and continuing. So I don't see any contamination. It looks very nice. Get a little bit closer to you. You can see the white mycelium going all over it. Let me show you a prime example how it should look. Look at this, beautiful. Yeah, great colonization happened there. So this one would be ready to go in a substrate mix, but I'm not gonna do a whole substrate mix for one jar. I think there's a couple here and there that are ready to be transferred, but most of them are still developing, and some of them have contamination. So let me grab one that has a contamination issue. Yeah, here. Well, first of all, some of them are sprouting, and I read the issue is that the grain didn't get hot enough. So with the grain, when you use them, you have to soak them for 36 hours first, and then you have to really get them sterilized as good as possible. That's why I use most of the time a pressure cooker, but I don't have a big enough pressure cooker for my operation at this moment. So what I will be doing is I'm probably going to use an oven. I have a turkey roaster pan, so I will be doing that in the future coming up versus the pasteurization chamber. Also, the pasteurization chamber needs a little bit of improvements. All right, so that was Agar with Chaga. A little bit of the grain update here. The grain probably needs a little bit longer. So let's go from there, folks, on to next projects. You know, in life, you gotta be sometimes spontaneous and just change your plans. I know I announced this morning that we're gonna do agar plates and then probably the baby room, but I have this project here, the pasteurization chamber, that I've been thinking about. It's on my mind for a long time, and it has to get done for the next substrate mix coming in. So what I'm doing now is I will putting insulation on the outside here. That's why I made this exoskeleton here, on the outside, not on the inside or anything. Before I was thinking, okay, my pasteurization chamber has 2 layers of boards. There's an inner layer of pine wood, which is rated for sauna use. And then right outside of it is OSB board here that you can see, well, maybe there, the line. It has been doing good so far. This whole room up here around belly level, that area is nice and warm and hot. When you're up around shoulder area, it goes about 220 degrees, which is good. But I do see that there is leakage going on quite a bit when I'm operating it for several hours, and this room here turns to 80 and 90 degrees. In the summer it can get a lot hotter, but also in the summer I can open the garage door behind the Claire Pedersen clean room, which will disappear most likely very soon. I'm in talk with somebody about it, and that's a completely other thing, and I will not spoil it yet, but it will be awesome, the replacement for this thing. So unfortunately, you see how tight that space here is. I will not be able to record a good footage for it. So I just want to show you here how it looks everywhere. Also up here by the door, I have to really get this fixed the right way. Right now I have 2 2x4s there. They kind of block it a little bit, but it's not sealed. There's leakage happening. And I just want to make sure that everything is pretty nice and tight and snug. Inside everything is good. It's just the outside here that I see has some issues here and there. So I will go in there, fix it, and I will report back after I got it done. It's probably going to take me 2 to 4 hours. So, see you afterwards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We are about 75% done with this project. And in the picture before, you saw me putting the insulation in. I tell you, I'm really happy I lost 30 pounds last year, because I would have not been able to fit behind this corner here to get all the insulation on and all the plastic too. So you see now that I put the vinyl plastic all the way around, and I checked it now for several hours, making sure that there's no hot leaking on top of these, because this is a 4mm construction plastic basically, which I will be using as a vapor barrier on top of everything. And there's no danger of it melting. You see, this kind of plastic has a very low melting point, and I just want to make sure that there's no danger whatsoever, and there isn't. The next step will be to get some wood panels, and I have a bunch of wood panels in one of our buildings here on the south side of the property. However, there's probably a good 500 feet of snow between me and that building, so when it's not as cold as today or tomorrow, I will be able to snowblow my way back there, grab those panels, and finishing up this project here. However, I'm very, very happy. The heat levels have changed now. You remember how I said before, around belly line it was when it started getting really hot. Shoulder line was about 220. Imagine the 220 went now down to the belly line, and when it gets hot is around the knee level. And this is not a completely sealed chamber, to be honest. The floorboards are not on an even ground, so there's always some fresh air coming in from there. And my biggest leak that I have is the door too. That's why I have this here right now. And I'm thinking about buying a cool mushroom blanket so I can cover this whole thing up here and never have to really worry about it, and it kind of looks nice too. So that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow will be a good day too. We will work on other things, probably the baby room, because In the growing tent, there's not much going on besides that there's 3 bags that are going to be harvesting today, but otherwise there's not a lot of things going on. So, thank you so much for watching, and always remember, the world can be your oyster mushroom. See you tomorrow. Bye.